Good evening, guys. It's Jones here. Welcome to the Lofi Evening Podcast. Only the evenings where people come to tell their stories and where stories have been told. Yesterday, we have a special guest. But before we get to her, we are in our 6th episode, and it's quite a good achievement. I feel very happy. And thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and thanks for listening as well for all the listeners on Spotify. I think it has been a while. We want you to be in the show. We have a friend of a friend who wants you to be in the show. So why don't you, before we start, why don't you introduce to the viewers and the listeners as well who you are, and just give a small summary of yourself.
Hello, Shalom. I'm Aanniesha Mawrie and they call me Annie. Well, it's been a while. I've not done interviews, and while on my way here, I was trying to collect myself, but then I just had parked, on the jam, there was too much traffic, and there's this car behind me. I don't know, was it a taxi or something? And they was playing this jam, and the jam was so what, we get drunk. So what, we smoke weed. I'm like, okay. So that got me really chilled. Yeah.
I think
so
that's a very chill song anyway. Yeah, go on. Sorry, my bad.
So that's how I prepared myself coming here with that chill song.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where you have to be chill before we start the interview, because we always have this thing, I think for all the viewers and the viewers out there and the listeners as well out there, we always have this small conversation before we start the show so that we can just have a little bit more. I think the song helped you.
It helped, yeah.
But I think the conversation we had helped, so it's really cool. So I think it's kind of those icebreakers that we do. So Anniesha, I think one thing about you that always intrigued me is always your nails. You have
nails.
Yeah, your nails, nail polishes. Yeah, it's because I saw most of your nails as either very wild, really good paint. I don't know, I'm using the right jargons or something, but they're really, really cool. Who does it for you?
There's a friend of mine. Her name is Nat. She does that, and there's another friend.
Give a shout out to her as well.
Yeah, there's another friend, Corsi. So they both do my nails, and mostly I get my nails done through my friend Natalie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I suggest the certain designs, or we work designs together. So it's fun. Yeah. So I'm more intrigued because nails, when I do a lot of movements and gestures and all that, so it kind of enhances the movements and it makes it looks nice.
I think it's one of those things where I feel when I look at your videos, especially your hands are the ones that really I mean, you're good with everything, but I think you're really good with the hands. So I don't know if I'm doing it wrong.
They're rugged as well, some days, because
go ahead. Yeah. So the thing is about I've always found about you that's very interesting is that your fashion sense is another thing as well.
Thank you.
I like the black, and you like anime as well.
Yeah.
So can you just
anime. Actually, I'm I don't know, how I don't know, my clothing line comes from a lot of many influences. So I like a lot of cyberpunk. Yeah. Cyberpunk style or tech wear or streetwear. So I create my own style, get anything from anywhere and just mix and match everything, and there you get an outfit.
It's I really like the black, you always like black. I'm
black, love black.
Why black though, of all colors though?
Black is it's cool and sexy, it makes everybody looks it just makes you stand out
from the crowd.
Yeah.
Especially if you wear a Cannibal Corpse t-shirt, I think you really stand out the crowd. You'll go to church with that. I mean, you'll be the most outstanding person in the world. Yeah, but anyway. The thing about you that always has always why we called you in the podcast, that you're such an amazing person in what you do, and you've been kind of an OG when it comes to dancing, and you've been in the scene for such a long time, right? Where society that time was really hard, because one thing is there's no internet, there's no social media. So I want to ask you, how did you start this journey of yours? When did you start? Can you just explain the journey from start to finish? How did it happen? When did it happen? Yeah.
I grew up in a family where they're dancers and actors and musicians. So I watched them, they influenced me. And my mom's also a dancer. So, while cooking, she'd vibe a little and all that. So I catch moves from there.
Okay.
And it's MTV. You see the old music videos and you compare it to now. Like back then, it was like everything was a vibe. So yeah, I learned it from there and YouTube. And right after that, I had to like work my ass off to, like get out of Shillong to like train myself. And yeah, so I was trained under this institute called Big Dance and certified from there as well. So came back to Shillong and set things up.
So the thing about you, once I was really intrigued, is your mom, right? Your mom is, I think, really an inspirational person.
She is.
So, like, did it like, for me personally, that I've always seen is that did you like to dance, or was it like maybe you saw her dancing and then you were like, okay, I think this is.
I think it's more like an innate thing, like yeah. So I always wanted to do this, never be too focused in academia and like set a different track. It was difficult because parents, they want to see you somewhere else. My mom were like, okay, you have to be a lecturer. Okay, been there, done that. Now what? Let me just go and live my dreams. And I did that, yeah. So I worked as a teacher for a while. So right after that, got the bug and left home.
You just left home?
Yeah.
Like, wow. I think that was a very hard decision, right?
No, it's not.
It
was actually hard to stay.
Oh, really?
Because that drive, that passion, it's like it's too much for you, So you can't literally like cage yourself too much. You need to go out there and do what you want.
Yeah. Because for me personally, I've always seen that at home, especially, is that I think you're the only
child. Yeah. It's boring.
That's a huge pressure.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's boring as well. Yeah,
very.
Yeah, that's true. I can relate to that. Actually, I can relate to that. Like, can you explain to me a bit about how did like being the only child, like, is it pressurizing for you to follow like the the traditional route, shall we say, right, of going to studies and but you deviated from that. Was it hard for you?
It's always like so difficult. You need to like have a little bit of rebellion in you. Yeah, it's good. Like, like break through everything and just like, it's all about like, okay, I'm lost.
No problem. So we're talking about so like I was asking.
It's like they, certain people would have a disbelief in you until they see your work. So you need to like prove a point. So at one point of my life, I had to like slog and really work to like prove a point. And when they see the work and they see the passion and, not only that, it's like the hunger, I have the hunger in me, like it keeps me going. So that is what they saw. And now I get all the support I need. Yeah. Even if it's not a financial support, but I get all the emotional and and everything else fall into place after that.
I think once you start doing what you love, right, you tend to, at first you have to rebel, I think.
Obviously.
You have to fight. You have to prove your point that, I can survive and do well as well. Right. So like, when is this point where you rebel, right? You said you rebelled and you have to get out of more or less from the family and all that. I think it must have been very shocking to your parents, like, oh, she's rebelling for dancing. And that time, I think,
actually, it's just my mom, because my mom is a single parent.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those years have been very hard, I guess. And you going this other direction that is very unconventional, I think it's really, I think your mom must be like going crazy.
Yeah, it's like, how can you like live in a world where it's so structured and programmed? It's like, I cannot imagine waking up to like, the same monotonous thing every day. It's like, when I wake up to something, it always has to be something new and like vibrant, then it makes life more like a vibe. Yeah.
I think that's something.
So when you do something you love, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, good. No problem.
When you do something you love, that's when you like really like vibe with life, and it just like, it
just happens, right? So I've always seen that doing the things that you love is always, I feel personally, it really helps you to wake up every day and do the things that you love. So the thing is, do you actually like, when you were starting out on your journey in academics and all that, you've always had this vision of being a dancer.
A dancer.
So,
Yeah.
but I just want to ask you, like, how did the situation happen that you clicked like with dancing? Because it has to be like a kind of connection, a spirit, like a spiritual relationship
Yeah,
with
it's
something,
like a
right?
call. Yeah.
Yeah, like a call.
Yeah.
Exactly. Can you explain me the moment that you met this and you actually felt a sense of connection?
It's like when you lose too many things in life, you have to resort to something, no, to make you heal or to make you get out of a situation. So for me, dance is not just a way out, but it's also like a healing process. Yeah. So I suggest people should dance more, or like at least listen to music more, or like, any resort to any form of art. Like art is so beautiful, and people are so stuck in that cycle and that programmed little, I don't know what they like, a shell. Yeah.
Shall we say the comfort zone?
Comfort zone, exactly. They're so scared to get out of that.
Yeah, it's, man, like you said, healing from wounds, right? Like, if I may ask, I know it's kind of personal, but did you have like, like what other, don't explain in detail what traumatic experiences
Of
must
course,
have.
yeah. It's like we have a lot of like, obviously you and I and everyone, we have our own traumas, and we need to shadow work, which people don't usually like tend to. So they neglect. So we need to shadow work and resort to something that can literally like help you heal and recover. Yeah. I sound so sad. Like,
Yeah.
why does this sound so
It
sad?
is one of those things where
I think we need to like.
Yeah, it's no problem, because
Yeah.
we're going, because people are learning from this. I think all the listeners as well are learning from this. All the listeners, I've had people asking me actually in the podcast, like, your podcast really helped me, like, like understand psyche, of different people. Yeah. So, okay, like you're saying trauma, right? I think trauma is one of those things where it always been, like, I've had people here, and you have met people in your life as well, where they go through a certain thing, but the thing is, some people, they don't realize it.
They don't realize actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it comes to a point where it's really sad that they realize it later on in their life. So, but thank God that you realized it and you're able to get out of that. So, can you explain to me a bit about your strength? Like the strength, because you have to have mental strength to do that, right?
Of course.
So, yeah, go ahead.
So the strength is basically, see that there'll be many things like that will bounce into your life, be it good or bad. It's like nobody can help you but yourself. Yeah. You can actually have friends, family, or anyone, but it's like the battle is with you. It's like you have to face your own battle, and you'll have to just get on with life, because like the world is just gonna revolve. Everything's gonna go on. It will not stop. So why should you stop, no?
I agree. It's, if you're doing something that, like, because traumatic experience is not a matter of joke. I've always had these, I know we're talking about very serious stuff, but it's very relevant, right? Suicidal rates are growing up.
Yeah.
And all that. But let's not go to that. I think you are a person who have really like realized that.
I've actually survived depression. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Can you
Back
talk
in
a bit
the
about
day.
your depression? That'll be great.
Depression.
Okay, so yeah, we're talking about a little bit of depression. So what's your perspective on depression though?
It's like, I don't know, I see it as like, have you seen Prometheus? Because I'm into sci-fi and
Prometheus.
Yeah, Prometheus. So my
Blade
type
Runner.
of depression is like a world where I'm like stuck in the Prometheus zone and I can't get out of it. It's not like totally like, you can't understand things. Like it's just a world that is dark, and you're stuck there, and it's like you live in your own world. You don't understand reality anymore. So yeah,
Just numbs the senses, right?
like numb totally.
Yeah. It's like, even if you had people around you and all that, you just like become, like, forget about it, like,
Yeah.
But then that's the thing, like, dance is always one of the things that have always fascinating me, like, it's, people have told like many stories with dance. Like, I have survived that, I've survived this. So have you had any students who have come to you, and I think by now you must have had, you had your own academy as well, right? I think how did do you feel inspired when people come to you and say, your dance helped me become the person who I am now?
Yes, so much. I mean, if you can um, it's all about helping them shape their world, but it's not actually. It's actually watching them grow. That's the best part. It's like you see them grow, and then okay, they're doing it on their own, and you just showed them a few part of what they need to see, like a vision, and that's about it. They're on their journey on their own.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's like I'm telling you, man. I mean, you being I think by now you can call you influencer. I think you're an influencer in some way. We influence people. Yeah, I think influencing in a good way. There's always a good way and there's a bad way, right? I think it's really humbling having them coming to you and say, "Oh, you helped me become this person," and I think it's really nice to have those comments coming to you, right?
Yeah,
Especially heartwarming.
Thinking overwhelmed and
What is the most inspiring story that you have heard from your students that really made you I know it's not, I don't name the student at all, but just
my students, because I also take classes in Providence, if you know Edmonds. Yeah, Providence. So I see kids from various backgrounds. Yeah. So when they come to the dance class, some of them don't even have shoes to wear, and they're barefoot, and we do many workouts and all, and it really it's too much for them. It can scrape their leg or but that didn't stop them from learning or working out. Or there's many schools actually like that. Some kids are not so fortunate, but they're always willing to learn, and that hunger, like I said again, that hunger, that drive, that passion, that is what really inspires me, and it keeps me going because of them, and I see that in them. So
it's cool.
Yeah.
That's one thing. I think you need to inspire to be inspired, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You see them and they come to you and they're inspired by you. So you said your mom, see, even your mom also inspired you, and they inspired you and you inspired others, right? And Providence is one of the things where
they're so talented, these kids.
How talented are they?
They're very talented. Actually, teachers are as well very good. They teach kids to actually survive. They teach them carpentry, and then there's dancing. There's many other things, where it's they teach them how to survive. Yeah.
And not just that, I feel we need that more in our
exactly,
day-to-day life, right?
It's why do we learn something that we don't need to it will not be of any use for the future? We learn things okay, I'm so bad at mathematics, I should fail with maths in school.
So
yeah.
But you were
but now I still use the calculator for that. Why do we learn something that we don't need to learn? Should change the
overall
yeah
approach towards education.
Yes.
We had a good debate in Bon. I think if you want to hear all about the debate about about education and all, we'd had a good segment with Bon Job. So we talked about how it went, how it goes, and all that. But it's really cool. Yeah, you're very, very right. I mean, it's one of the things that have always made me understood that we need to refrain. I mean, or modify the education system, right? Think about it. One thing about you that have always made me fascinated about you and the things that you do is that you're very people when they reach to your height or to your level, I'm not pointing any fingers out there, but we always have a sense of pride or anything, but you're so down to earth, man. You're you walk with the people, you talk with the people, and you're so down to earth. How did you have such a very calm and zen personality?
Actually, I never thought of myself there. I never thought. I always like to empty myself whenever I'm anywhere, because in emptying myself I would learn more. So I never thought of I'm okay, I'm here and you're there. It's I vibe anywhere.
It is one of those things where I think you really need to I think you're more you're so humble. I think when I met you today itself and having conversations with you, you're you're so chill. You're so you don't have anything with you, and in a good way, that is. But the conversation was really good, and I think you learn these things after you go through a lot of trial and error in life, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Since we're talking about trial and error, how did you start your academy?
My academy, I actually I used to live in away from my studio. So before building our house, I built the studio. So I was staying somewhere in Rinja, and the studio was in Lower Rinja. That's how I started. And I don't remember when was that. Like, I think it's 10 years la done thai. Yeah.
Your academy is for now for 10 years now. Wow.
Yeah, first it was just a small place. I won't call it like an academy. It's just a small studio space where anyone can come and practice. So the kids out there ki badan hang tu hajan yang ki shek kwa ban wan chill kai. So what they do is they do their battles and they jam and they bring their own speakers and kumto. So
was it hard to acquire the place, or was it like easy for you to get the place, because you need to have a big space, right?
Yeah, it's okay. The space is not that big. It fits like certain amount, of people, and I actually don't want to make it like a school. I want to make it feel like a home where people can come and vibe and share art, and yeah,
it's fun.
So it's basically not just for dancers, it's for any other artists, like from any
walks of life.
Yeah.
So like dancing, always one thing about it that gives me a good perspective is that you can attract like lots of people from different walks of life, right? And have you like brought in any student whom doesn't like dance, but once he's there, he's like, hey, I like dance, huh?
Actually, I've had students who are like 50 plus. Yeah, they come with their husbands to do like a Latino jam.
Okay.
Yeah, so they salsa and all that.
Okay.
Some like mom and Khonshi Khmer.
Oh,
so they come
sweet,
and jam. Some like wedding couples.
Okay.
Yeah, non-dancers, especially some just to lose some weight or some to gain some weight.
It's a fascinating thing, right? Cardio. I think dancing is one of the things that always have been always associated with dance, right? So I think you're a very fit person, in my opinion.
I don't know.
You do.
Okay.
Like you go for, based on my research, you also go for
MMA
and all that. So how was MMA as a whole? Was it like, was it like an overnight thing, or did it happen like?
I actually, I don't know. Like I said, I'm like more of a movie buff. So I love watching movies, and I like action, sci-fi action and all that. I watch a lot of action movies and all that. So I'm like, if I watch Tony Jaa, or if I watch some actor like, I don't know, some fighter, like, okay, I want to try that stunt. Or if I watch like Resident Evil, the lady, these hardcore
slasher movies. I think, sorry to cut you off, but I think one of the things that have always fascinated me is always Blade Runner.
Damn. Exactly.
Blade Runner. Can you explain how did you fall in love with movies?
With movies, I don't know. It's like maybe to cure my depression a little, and I resort to these kind of characters where I could use them in my own short films. So I watch a lot of movies. I actually watch a lot of sci-fi, action, gangster series, movies. I listen to gangster rap all the time. Like, yeah. So I don't know. Movie is always like, I don't know. You get into character, and then you imbibe a certain alter ego for yourself, and you can use that I can use that in my movie. So for the future, I'm thinking if I could, be a director or something, make my own movies, and yeah. So I need to but I'm into Tarantino movies more, like gore. I don't know if
Tarantino has so much gore.
So dope. Exactly. I've watched loads of all of his movies. Works.
Pulp
Fiction.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic. We were talking about Cyberpunk, right? Cyberpunk is one of those things where it's a concept, I think, built by William, what's his name? I forgot. William Gibson, I think, in Necromancer, right?
Yes,
Necromancer,
yes.
if I'm not mistaken, is one of his first books. And if you look at Cyberpunk, okay, can you describe to me what is your take on the genre of Cyberpunk? What is totally for the viewers out there?
It's like, I don't know. I wish to live longer to see all that. Like live in a virtual world, like virtual reality, or I don't know, get a gadget where, like
insert your conscience into a chip and just like
I don't know, like I fascinate myself turning to a cyborg some days. Like if I could live that long, if we could live that long to see that, I mean, it's
possible.
It's possible,
It's
yeah.
possible.
It's totally like a different kind of vibe you see every day. Machines flying here and there.
It's cyberpunk, right?
Cyberpunk is like it's just like
an awesome thing.
It's like thinking about it makes me like makes any like people like us who likes that. Yeah.
Right. One thing about cyberpunk, man, it's very relatable there. You see, first and foremost, I think cyberpunk have always been that very dark, all neon lights,
exactly,
and all that, right? And I think it also talks about the corruption that the government has and
total dystopia.
Dystopia. We live in very high tech, but yet there's corruption.
Yeah,
I think.
And then there are these people who rebel. Yeah,
like against the government.
Against the government.
But the vices are one thing, man. The vices like drugs, sex, and everything is there, right? So,
but you know what? What's beautiful about chaos is like some people don't understand it or not willing to understand it. But chaos is actually so beautiful. Like there's always something new to it. Yeah, I don't know. I see that in Cyberpunk.
It's one of those things where you just have to, how shall we say? It's chaotic, like you said, but it's also the beautiful side of it.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, what's your take on the cyberpunk genre, like as a whole? What do you think? Is it like relatable to what we are? Are we going towards?
We are, of course, we are. Yeah.
I think, yeah, sort of.
I don't know. What I don't know.
Yeah.
But I really want to like just vibe into that world.
It's very technical. And see, for example, if you look at the internet, right, as a whole, we never knew that internet exists. But the concept came to being, right? Look at ads. If you have seen Cyberpunk Blade Runner, it was like huge ads are there, right?
Yeah.
We're having that now. So I think we're going towards
it. Yeah. Be ready world.
Get ready.
Get ready.
Going for the cyber. I mean, not cyberpunk.
I'm excited more on that. Like I actually pray on like, I don't know, some sort of a zombie apocalypse. Corona and whatever. Like, why don't something like, something pop out from somewhere, some alien shit and whatever.
I think we should.
Like, it's weird.
We should have a team though.
It's weird, but
it might be possible. Because the UN actually released a handbook where, like in case a zombie apocalypse does happen, so you can download that. It's for free, for sure, for all the viewers and for all the listeners out there.
Can you imagine the conversation from a dancer got into something else, from depression? It's cool. Everything is like connected to everything and everything.
To be frank with you, this is the most very unconventional conversation I've had.
At least it has some weight.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I feel it in a way. It's very unconventional, but I like the conversation how it goes. So yeah, okay. When we talk about zombies, right? So would you like to have a zombie? I saw even Lucille. You have the band Lucille. I think Joshua made it for you, right?
Yeah, Joshua.
So would you like? What kind of weapon would you like to have in a zombie apocalypse?
Okay, I'd use the bat.
For sure.
To blow the brains off. Is it okay to say that?
Kill the brains.
Kill the brains.
Yeah.
Before So that or like I don't know, some sort of a machine gun or whatever.
Yeah, I think. And plus, I think we should have like a proper barricade, right? You have to barricade your house.
Exactly.
Have you seen that meme where they show that Regan Grimes was like actually like he was up there in that car and he was like these zombies. Then he was writing there on top. That's not you, Regan Grimes. You're one of the zombies or something, right? I think it probably will be that. I think I'll be the zombie, so she'll beat my brain, so no problem.
But it'll be like so interesting. Everything's gonna like go haywire.
For sure.
I really love anything that's like confusing and
chaotic. I think one thing about beauty about chaos is that you able to find out things that you aren't supposed to find out.
Yeah.
right? And there's always mistakes here and there.
It's like people want to be perfect all the time. I know they're chasing after that, but then something about things that are, just not
not there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally understand that. It's you have to really dig deep and go through the chaos and you even become wiser though.
Exactly.
Don't you have that? I think if you ask Anniesha, the young who just started out and now, I think you'll be far wiser and you can say, don't do this, don't do that, right? So can you tell me like seeds of wisdom from your point of view in dance and what you have learned in life, so the viewers can actually understand, or the listeners can take that into their lives, right?
All right. So I guess you just got to experience everything in life to become wise. Yeah. And just keep fighting, like fighting for a change, fighting for a cause, fighting for a purpose. And you'll have critics, but it's okay. It's for your own growth. I have people like obviously critics. Yeah. Some are good. Some are like totally like crap.
Misogynist.
Yeah. So I guess it's just like it's your world, no? You just have one life. It's your world. You make it better for you, and you listen to your inner voice, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like just go ahead and break all conventions and stereotypes and
just go with the flow, right?
Yeah.
I mean, can you talk a bit about these criticisms that you have gotten, right? I mean, I don't want to go in depth, but were they like hard on you?
As a teenage, it was, but now, damn, doesn't affect me at all.
You still have it till now? You still have people talking to you?
Like, I just simply just block. It's like a quick,
yeah. Just a small button over there.
Yeah.
Right. So
it's like I don't fuck with energy.
Yeah.
So
those types are just leave them aside.
Yeah.
I mean, I really don't like that.
You can't let a certain energy affect your vibe,
Mm-hmm. I mean, the energy that you give me also, I feel you're very straightforward, no bullshit kind of thing, but also it's like I could actually see the human in you kind of thing. Like you're actually genuine. When you say no, right? Than being kind of a snake behind the scenes and spread rumors or whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
You being a person who's very straightforward, have you when you try to project through dance, do your people or the audience feel you? Because it's kind of like a give and take kind of thing when it comes to energy, right? When it comes to dance. So maybe do you have people in your life where they say, oh, man, the energy that you bring was just hits me, but I don't know what, but it hits you. Can you explain? I'm not a dancer, so can you explain a bit about that interaction between audience and you, right?
First of all, I love the people who support me. I appreciate them, whoever they are, they're out there, and be it in social media or my life. Yeah. So, what's the question?
No problem. So I was asking is that. No, just chill. It's okay. No problem. It's that's why I like podcasting.
Yeah.
Is that it's just pure unfiltered conversations where you just come on, man. It's you don't need to have a very serious conversation. If you want to, you can. If you don't, also no problem. So, and I like this conversation we're having right now, even though it's very unconventional, but it's I really like it. It's very nice. I mean, you're a person who's the vibe is very infectious. So it's very cool. So I was saying is that you dance, right? Obviously in these underground battles, shall we say, and you dance, right? So it's more or less of an exchange of energy, right? Because the crowd watches you and you dance and you're trying to project to them what you have inside or maybe your energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So have you had people who tell you I don't know you, but when you dance, I totally know who you are? That energy kind of thing has changed. Can you explain to me a bit about that energy that you have between you and your fans or your supporters or your fans? Yeah.
Well, if they're there supporting me, so we vibe along after that. It's if it's a battle, then we all jam together. And what's really influenced my life, I'm so inspired by these b-boys. Yeah. Their lifestyle, their training, the way they, the way they project themselves and the way they get in a battle, that's something that's so real. And hip hop is all about,
Being true.
yeah.
It's why I like hip hop as well is because I never did like hip hop, but then because that time I was in the metal scene, so I was like, you don't like hip hop, rude. But yeah, no, I mean I truly have a sense of appreciation towards them. So you're very into hip hop. I've seen very like good songs on you. I saw R.A. the Rugged Man.
Yeah.
That guy is really good. Eminem, Tech Nine. I've seen like here and there. So can you talk to me about how, I think because even breakdancing and everything comes from hip hop.
Yeah.
And you see even the Weeknd. I mean R&B. I love Weeknd.
R&B, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen. Even when I was listening to some of your tracks, you kept the Weeknd, Called Out My Name, right? I really like that. So can you explain to me how music plays a very important role in your dance?
If I have to like be aggressive with my energy or my attitude, then obviously like I'd have to choose something like that. Yeah, so I stick to underground artists or any rapper. So if I go on slow, I stick to something like as my forte. My forte is hip hop and jazz. So like slow songs for jazz. Yeah, basically jazz songs for jazz dance. But people don't understand the concept of jazz because it's supposed to be sensuous, like like body formation and all that. But people don't understand that now. Like maybe they will. Yeah.
They are, I think.
Maybe they are.
Yeah.
Or maybe they are dancing in there, for walls.
I mean,
vibing.
Yeah, they might even like get inspiration from you, and they might even dance.
Yeah,
like,
try.
Try
They try in their room or something.
Yeah, for sure. And one thing about music is that it's really one of those things where, like I said again, it's when you listen to it, you just like, I like that song, and I think as well in dance, it really plays a very important role, right? Because without pulse, there's no music, and without music, there's no dance, right? So give me a very good understanding of how you can relate to music. I know it sounds very abstract, but once you listen to music, it's like, do you naturally have like a certain technique to do your skills?
So when I listen to music, what I usually do is like put the earphone on and just close my eyes and just like go like vibe. And I imagine things in my head. Okay, this is the movements. This is how I go about and all that. I imagine you actually, like music can take you anywhere. You want to be in Paris, you want to be in Rome, you want to be anywhere. Yeah. So you want to be in a bunker, you want to be like anywhere. So it's like when you're sad, you listen. I don't know, when I'm sad, I listen to metal.
Everybody does.
Or EDM.
EDM, huh?
EDM.
Wow. Okay.
I jam to that.
No love
or
songs.
sound waves, or I don't know, whatever.
Okay. Synth wave is one.
Yeah.
I mean, metal is one of those things that, even when I'm still listening to, I still listen to a bit of Killswitch Engage, Cannibal a bit, Dying Fetus. One of those.
I listen to Rammstein and...
You're into new metal. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
that. Or I don't know, Slipknot. I don't know. Yeah.
Everybody's favorite. I mean, when I was young, I think Linkin Park, Slipknot, Korn.
Korn.
Yeah. I think what's your favorite music of Slipknot, like till date?
Duality. I like the concept of the video so much. Because again, that's like a lot of chaos and a lot of chaos yet calm. Yeah.
It's a calming feeling. An interesting fact about duality, right? I don't know if you know this, but that was the house of a fan.
Okay.
He actually called them over and said that you can do whatever you want.
So they broke into it. They totally broke down the house.
Yeah. They broke down the house. Their parents, I think his parents were not at home. So they said, you can film the video.
Can you imagine the condition like
they'd be like, what the F, bro?
My house is broken.
Slipknot did it.
But they could pay, They pay.
They're rich. I don't know. Probably they can, right? I mean, I don't know how American people are, but if
the concept is like
totally out of this box. What is your, like, more or less your favorite music? I mean, favorite band member? Corey Taylor, or is it like the other?
I guess everyone has their own vibe. Yeah.
What's your like all-time favorite though? Like all-time music, but who's your favorite like band member from Slipknot?
I don't know. I like the
Sorry, the pointy I forgot his name, man.
I don't know then. I actually
The
know their
mask.
names, but I don't remember names. So
Okay, the guy with the mask.
yeah,
Okay.
but they're all in the mask.
Yeah,
no?
I mean the guy. That is true.
They're all in the mask.
So what kind of mask? I did the
I guess it's the one with I don't know, nails. Are they nails or are they like, is it sewn?
the drummer.
I guess.
Yeah, I think he passed away. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so R.I.P. to him. But yeah, you were saying that metal really helped you in
Anger issue, yeah.
anger issue and all. I think it also helps you to sleep though.
Exactly, no?
Yeah. Have you ever like feel very sleepy and you listen to metal and like
And yeah, you doze off totally.
and it's still on till
Yeah,
morning, right?
yeah.
Tell me one of the best experiences that you've ever had in a metal show. Yeah.
I don't know, like I listen to Korn and I get all goosed up. There's a song Daddy.
Yeah.
That is so creepy. Like it's creepy, but it's so painful at the same time. Yeah.
Korn is, I think, one of the few OGs out there who was like, their artwork is one scary as. I mean, we have these small kids, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We have touched music a bit. We've touched about cyberpunk, and I think we're going to go more in depth about all these movies that you listen to and to watch to and listen to, right? But you also transitioned to acting as well. I think recently, and as I watched your some of your videos out there, they're very abstract, right? So tell me, how did you got into acting? Because dancing and acting is kind of a different field, right?
Acting, actually, the person who's really influenced me in acting is my uncle, Albert Mawrie. Yeah. So, yeah, he's my guide.
And
He
so-
taught me without teaching me, really.
All right.
He taught me without teaching me,
Wow.
like really, like just being with him in the house, like we chill and all. That's how he,
You just like got into it. Like,
yeah. And I love his work.
Okay.
Like if you've seen the movie Yodo, I don't know.
Yeah, you know. I think you know Mr. Denver. Yeah, the guy who acted as the main character.
Okay.
Yeah, he's Denver. He's a good friend of ours. So yeah, I want to ask you, like, how did, like, even though he didn't teach you, but once like you get into that scene, I think it just happens naturally for you.
I guess I'm not that good as an actor. As for now, I'm still learning. Yeah, so, but I watch a lot of Naomi Rapace. Yeah, that's how you pronounce it. Yeah. Or Angelina Jolie. I'm like quite influenced by like how they.
Movies.
Yeah,
I'm hearing
Jolie.
dogs outside, so don't mind. So, okay, Angelina Jolie, right? I think she acted a few of. I think she's a very badass.
Yeah, very
you know,
badass.
actress. Like, she can really like beat everyone up if she wants to. So I think do you want to play like an action role anytime
I
soon?
would love to, like, but I don't know. I'm short, like an average Kasi height.
Yeah,
Would I like?
no
But
problem.
yeah, if I get an action role, I'd love to. Yeah, I just got this guy who DM'd me and he's like, do you want to be part of our film? I'm like, okay, what is it about? Nganhap akum pinhap akum isnar.
For the
Akum
viewers out there,
isnar.
can you translate what snar is, and for the listeners as well?
Can you translate that for me?
I don't know, so that's why I'm asking you. Do anyone know it? No one knows. Damn, we're gonna lose some mega points here, man.
Yeah.
So,
But I guess like the guy who's DM'd me, he's also an actor. He's a comedian and he's quite good. Yeah. But I've never really tried that role.
Okay,
Yeah, whatever.
okay.
But I would love to,
Yeah, I think
train for that. Actually train.
True.
Just like John Wick. He's actually trained jiu-jitsu for his role.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And shooting as well.
He's trained in everything.
Yeah. John Wick. I mean, he's one of those. I mean, Keanu Reeves in general,
Yeah.
right? Matrix. I think you have a dog named Neo as well.
Neo.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. I did my research, so yeah, we all did our research. Actually, we both help each other out. So tell me, how did you come with the concept of naming a dog Neo, right?
Because he was like,
But he
he almost died. Lajan, yup. But he's such a survivor. But I don't know. I see it as Neo, as the Matrix Neo.
I mean, like dodging bullets and all that stuff.
No, not dodging bullets. When I first saw Neo, I actually saw that I envisioned Keanu in that the womb. Remember how the movie started? The womb.
Yeah.
The artificial womb. So that's how I saw Neo, and I named.
Okay. That's so scary. But like, if you really think
You can
about it,
actually like
envision that happens, right? So I think Neo is one of those things where, I saw you keeping in your lap and you were like, you were like,
I found it from the streets. Yeah. I actually have 2 more dogs. I got them from the streets.
Mhm. I mean, both of them are, they're how many years old?
Mentak
Like,
te khilaya. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Okay, look at you.
I was feeling very sad actually. I love dogs, man.
Oh, kahi pin ko big ban.
Yeah.
Darla samrik.
I love this, man. I love this. This is how a podcast should be. This is how it's supposed to be, actually. But anyway, yeah, the thing about having dogs is that why I felt very sad is that it's always like, because when you come back home and they're always there waiting for you. Like, do you feel like you miss that comfort where you see these dogs waiting for you after a long day of dancing and all?
Yeah, actually, like Katahi, like back then I had so much time for them. Then I left Shillong and all, and then Porsche. So it's like Ladam then Por. It's better to not have them, like,
I think
rather than to not have time for them. Like they need a lot of time, just like us. Yeah, Ihana, just like us.
Just like yeah.
Just like us.
We need time, guys. I mean, for me personally, like even grooming wise, you need to take time as well. I think everybody does, and humans are very like tedious animals, shall we say, social animals. Those people who are politically, you understand that. So anyway, not flexing, but anyway, yeah. But one thing about animals that have, like, one thing about me, I always listen to what people say is that animal rights is also a growing thing right now, right? So, and growing thing is such a way where people like love animals to the extent like it's really cool. So, for you personally, do you like support animal rights in general?
Of course, yeah.
And would you like to go on a campaign, maybe, or maybe do you want to have a campaign of your own, and maybe through your school of, through your academy and all that?
I would love to, but
need resources. You need people.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. The thing is, as I was researching towards your topic and looking through many of your stuff, is that the paintings in your wall, especially your studio, you have a painting
graffiti
of yourself.
art,
Graffiti art. Who did it? And
he's actually my friend Ray. So he's from Jayao. He has his own studio. Yeah. So
can you explain a bit how it happened?
It all started when I saw his work. He does paintings in the cover phone, junki mobile and all that. And so I started off with t-shirts with him, like for my own collection. And later I wanted to get into my studio, and had a terrace jonga. I have this artwork, graffiti, and I envision my terrace to be like filled with like graphic designs and give space to artists more. Like I don't know, I want to make my house like an art house.
Your mom will be pissed off, man. I think
no, she's cool with that. Yeah.
Okay, very chill. So the thing that always
I appreciate people who can, paint and do a lot of that. Yeah, because I can't. I can only draw a man that looks like
a twig.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, the head.
The head and
the stick. Yeah. I think that's the basic thing. You cannot even ask your friend Ray. I think he started out that. I think it does happen, but I think it wasn't your calling, right? Okay, like when I was looking at some of your photos, especially, and looking at these, your painting of yourself, you really represent that, the very gangster look. And the graffiti, the Phoenix Studio also has a lot of like inspiration from the streets and all that. Did you want
That's a dedication to my father, actually.
Oh, okay.
So
can you explain a bit about how
dad?
Yeah, not your dad, but like how did your dad inspire you to make? I mean,
he's a person like I don't know him much, but since like mom and dad, but I learned to appreciate him somehow because he's a veteran. Yeah. He has his own ways, he has his own ways. He's always, I can't talk about him much actually. Yeah. I've not really spent time with him so much, but he's gangster. That's all I can say. And that vibe, so fierce and go-getter vibe. Yeah. That's my father.
Very assertive. some people have sense of, even if they don't know, I have had lots of myself, lots of other people I have met, like, they don't know their parent or whatever it may be, but they still get, an understanding of who they are, and they really are inspired by them,
Yeah.
in some way or the other. It's really cool. I mean, that's something that most people don't have that, so it's really, really cool. I like that about you. And you, at least you have that certain kind of appreciation. That's one thing. Like, I want to really talk a bit about your fashion sense, right? You have fashion sense that's really, really cool and very, like chill. You have a store that in Poxe as well, if I'm
Yeah.
mistaken. Can you
How do
like?
you know? Poxe. Okay.
Yeah.
Your
So-
research is quite like
Yeah. Thank you. Research.
research.
So, yeah. Anyway, you're blushing. Okay, I'm blushing right now. Okay, that's cool. Thank you.
You could qualify for an analyst, or I don't know, like
I should
like
have done something. I took the wrong route actually. So we're born in that age where commerce, arts, science, and all that sort of
Yeah.
thing. Okay. Anyway, and Poxe. How did like what is the main style of? Because I've seen you are very elegant. You're like you said, you like tech wear. You like wearing gangster. You like being even very feminine as well with yourself, right? So what does your store symbolizes?
Well, my store right now, it's like I cater to mostly like students kind of environment. Like it's affordable. Anybody can, it's affordable and it's stylish and it's comfy. Yeah, actually, comfort and style should correlate. Some people compromise that. Yeah, I remember wearing shoes that don't fit me, and can you imagine?
How big was it? Like it's huge, or did it fit you, or was it like size 10 and you were wearing? So
No, it actually it's like I namar kajuti am like I'm like very you about shoes. They should like be
Fit.
comfortable, even though if you like high heels and whatever, at least comfy. So ngadon kita ki juti ki ba, they're too tight for my feet, and then the next thing oh shit, okay, kejat kila siap kum using.
that is true.
Yeah. So even with the clothes too, like they should look stylish and at the same time comfy and
Comfortable, yeah.
yeah.
I see you have a lot of kicks though. I'm a big fan of kicks too. The Jordans, and I know I've said this many times. People are tired of me anyway. So, what are your favorite like all-time go-to shoes?
I love combat boots. Yeah, boots or Tims. I don't know. I love Tims.
Tim's an old school.
Yeah,
Very
so I
old
love
school.
Tims.
I think
But I cannot wear that all the time. No matter the sound that it makes when you run.
functionality was something there, right? I mean, Timberland, right? They call
Yeah.
it. I mean, I remember I think Storm the Yard. Was it
Storm the yard with the
Right?
Tims. Yeah.
That was one. I remembered. So, okay, your shop all it's like in more or less to cater to students in a very budget kind of
Yeah.
way, right? Okay, cool. I mean, the store of yours, I always, as I was looking into it, and
I just started it, so there's nothing much.
no.
But
What's your future for it?
I want to make it like I don't know, like more goth clothing, or I don't know, maybe latex. Yeah.
Latex.
I don't know, like yeah.
Yeah, go on. Like, this is like,
Yeah.
I was just thinking, like, wow, latex. I mean, Shillong is still able to do latex. It's still, I think it's gold.
It's like I don't know, like stick to something that is dark and at the same time like people can vibe with it every day. Yeah.
It's one of those
But
things
my
where
store is not there yet, so it's just
still getting there.
Yeah.
Getting there. So, are you like planning to? Is it totally yours, or did you collaborate with some
it's
people?
totally mine.
Okay, cool. And the thing about you that I really like, I'm inspired right now, and when I see through what I have researched and what I have looked in depth, is that you transition yourself so fast, and you are very versatile, right? You're a dancer, you're into fashion, you're into videography, you're into photography as well. If I'm not mistaken, I've seen some of your photos that are very abstract, and you took a picture of some of your families and
Okay.
dining table and all that, which is really, really cool, right? So tell me, how did photography and dance and all these different things came to your life, and how did it all
It's because like nowadays it's like so costly to pay a videographer, because you have to understand their work at the same time, because they have like paid years to get there, and you can't just compromise for the fee. Of course, I should understand that for any artist as well. So yeah, that's how I came about to like learn things on my own, so that then so to have budget.
Yeah, budget has to be there, obviously.
So that's how I had to learn everything.
Okay.
Yeah. So I go on for like kumtuki like online classes or whatever, just to learn a few things. Not much, but yeah, just the basics.
Basics, right? And I think before you dance, you have to keep like the camera somewhere. I think it happens when you're those old times, you don't have those stands or anything of that sort. So did you like actually kept in a wall and you start dancing?
Yeah, kept anywhere, in the floor, in the wall, anywhere.
At least
that looks good with the angle. That looks good.
True. So the thing that really makes me understand is that one thing is that YouTube that time wasn't there when you were doing your dance and trying to pursue dance as one of the main careers. So how did you learn how to dance? That's the thing that really
how did I learn?
Me. Yeah, how did you actually? Okay, not maybe you know from your mom, but how did you actually learn?
Ningkong, I was whack. Like you can see that from my old works. Obviously, you compare. I usually compare my old work, and then I archive them because they look a little like weird. So, but training is important. Some dancers just don't focus on training. Training is so important. Yeah. So that's how I train, and then of course talent and training and hard work and all that. Yeah.
It's one of those things where you have to keep on doing the same
training,
thing.
Learning. So it never stops and just keep
on going. Okay. Yeah. The thing is, what I'm trying to say is that do you have a book or anything? Like, did you see a book or did you learn from somewhere?
I actually have this book that deals with Latino styles at home, and also the jazz walks. I have a book, so it's quite very precise in how they explain like a few steps and all that. Or internet, of course.
That time YouTube wasn't that strong though. No. I think it wasn't that in depth on like now, right? So the earliest YouTuber that you've ever watched, I think it's not that clear at all, right?
Yeah.
So what's your first YouTuber that you've ever watched? Like I don't know
about YouTube, but MTV, and I don't know. I watch a lot of Beyonce and Shakira and J-Lo, and but coming to now I'm focused more on like underground artists.
Okay. By underground, can you refer to some names, or should you not say the names?
There's so many artists out there. Like I usually watch breakers perform because I don't know, I like the way they move, the movements. Like they're strong. They're like
they have that thing about them that you like, the aggression, right? Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, you're gonna have a very soon a film is gonna come out, a short film about you, right?
Yes. It's called Rec Fred.
Can you give us a small glimpse into what it is, at least for the people who are?
This is again like more of like a gangster vibe. At the same time, it's like the name itself, Reg Fred, is actually Reg is Regina, my mom, and Fred is Alfred, my dad. So it's like the calm is mom and the rage is dad. Okay. So combination of this makes the film
more better.
Yeah.
So that's I think that's
it's more subliminal. It's more symbolic. Total chaos.
Mm-hmm. And the thing about one thing that these things that you try to make, like for example, you said your mom and your dad, I think they are the ones, like even if they are not there, like spiritually, like you can imbibe their embodiment and you can actually do well, right? So can you explain to me how first time that you went to a dance competition, right? Did your mom go to any of your competitions or?
When I first started dance competitions, like her college, I bunk college and go for dance competitions. So like assignments and everything, it would like just go for competitions and all. Okay, so that was local and all. But my mom ibun kam, she didn't get the time to be there. But Dalalech Mumbai,
Mhm.
that was the time she was there for like.
For I mean, she saw
Yeah.
you dancing and all that. And you are very well accomplished. Going to Mumbai and going from Shillong to there, it's very hard, right? So tell me, how is the experience as a whole in
Mumbai.
Mumbai, and what did you actually do there? And can you explain to the viewers and the listeners as well, how is Mumbai as a whole, and what the experiences that you had?
It's like it's a sweet struggle, to live alone and to struggle in a city where like the whereabouts and places and all that, like it's a sweet struggle. Like every day it's like something new. And the best thing is like you get to learn and you learn and you learn and you learn and you grow. So, and you meet many people from different backgrounds and all that. And then, yeah, it's nice. Like I love the sweet struggle. And of course, living alone, like.
It is, I think, even like living alone makes you independent as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I have met lots of friends who go, like when they go out, they come back, they become a man, and you as well become a woman, right? So, what are the choreographers that you have worked with that you were like, man, like it's like kind of like a bucket list that you have ticked till date?
Ticked.
Yeah.
Okay, I've always wanted to like meet a few celebrities, but I didn't actually like thought I would meet them.
Mhm.
I met Jacqueline Fernandez. Then I've worked with Lisa Hayden as a choreographer team for this series, The Trip. And I've met like a few Bollywood choreographers, though I'm not into Bollywood that much. Yeah, I worked with Sir Stanley DeCosta, and there are many other like choreographers where I met. But what's most like really influenced my life are these underground dancers. Like their vibe is so different. Like it's nothing like a commercial taste, but it's totally different, like totally like grounded in pure hip hop.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things where you just have to, when you under the light or maybe the limelight.
Exactly. There's so many people who are like not in the spotlight, but they're so good at their work.
And they're very covert as well. They
Yeah.
don't say much.
They don't say much.
Yeah, I think. What do you talk when? Can you say something about like, is it good to be more commercialized in dance, or more is it good to be like more covert? In your opinion?
I don't know. Like being an independent artist, like I've seen a few artists like, okay, you need to like be, I don't know, commercial. The only thing about commercial is that we earn more.
Mhm.
No.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
But when it's too when it's too commercial, you lose out on that authentic.
vibe,
Yeah.
like the authentic self of yours,
Yeah.
right?
Authentic self.
Yeah. Why so? I mean, you look at commercial dance is good. They pay well, but they look very superficial some way.
Exactly.
And, you're there, right? But would you ever like to be there though? Like be in
Actually, I was there, part of
that
sort of
series, yeah.
but that was not my vibe.
Okay.
My vibe was totally different.
As you came
now,
back to
yeah.
Shillong. Oh, okay. So you actually had the opportunity to work with.
Yeah, with them.
You met Jacqueline. I think it's every guy's dream though. so that's a good thing. And one thing about I've always seen about Bollywood is that, no offense to anyone out there, but they're very like it's very commercialized, like you said. But I've seen even good dancers, they come out from there too. Like they start their own business.
There's so many dancers
Yeah.
out there. Like they're so good nowadays. Like they're really good.
Have their own studios as well.
Yeah, of course they have their own studios. They're good.
Yeah, it's like one thing about.
But the thing is, like, we should never compare ourselves with any of them. Like, just compare yourself with the old self. Yeah.
But you can get inspired though by them. Inspiration is always there. But yeah, competing on oneself is always the best. It was one thing, if you do that, like you said, you might just spiral on.
Hakli ada pethanik you, no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But you can get inspired though. One thing about that is always seeing it. Whom do you look up to till date that you feel like you really want to be that kind of person? But yeah, in Shillong or maybe the place that you have worked with.
That could be anyone.
Yeah, anyone. So it's your mom. That's
Yeah.
the first one. Also, so your mom totally. Okay, cool. Yeah, but one thing about dance I've always found is It's always one of those things where, for me personally, as seeing from a third person, right, it has a certain kind of, like attraction towards it. It may not be the person, it may not be who you are, but you just know that it's a very attractive thing. And I can't explain this, but I think you might have a very, very better idea on this. Tell me about why dance tends to be very attractive to even the common public. They'll be like, hey, there's a dance, and if you do well, like you really like it. Can you tell me a little bit of your perspective of why is it like attractive even for the people who don't know dance too well?
Because it's more of like, it's like poetry, like it just flows. And I don't know, you're like, if the dance is too aggressive and if it suits your perspective, then that's what you like. If you like something like a slow movement, then you vibe with that. So it's like subjective.
It's very subjective.
Yeah,
yeah. I think even your song, I've seen that this short movie of yours, that Karmic Eye, is it called? Yeah.
Karmic.
When I look at it, it's very abstract. I mean, I don't understand properly, but it's really nice to look at. Can you explain a bit about that video? What does it mean?
That video
totally
was when I was undergoing depression, like I said. So I also had hallucinations. So I have these like really intense, crazy visions where I see, like creepy crawlies and all that. It's
the boogeyman.
Yeah. So it gets in, like, it's too much. Like, so I wanted to like imbibe that in a film, like hallucinate. Like I hallucinated for a while until I had to take like medication to like make it. But you know what? The beauty about that, I've seen artists who has schizophrenia and all that. They are actually good painters and good musicians. And
yes, even autism is one of those. I don't know if they say it's a gift. I don't
it's
know
a gift, more.
Yeah. Yeah, autism, no? It's one of those things where people like they have this and they can do many things, right? So, like you going through the abstract dance of yours, right? You actually dance and you try to communicate with people. So, do people who go through a certain thing, like I just want to ask you this it's very abstract because it's kind of an abstract concept. It doesn't roll out properly. So abstract concept. So like, do people get the message though? That's the thing.
Like I don't really want to cater to people because I leave it to them to understand it or to not understand it. Like it's an open-ended, however you want to take it. So I don't really want to, okay, this is my message. Okay, actually I have a message, but how do they want to take that message?
They may have
it's like more like an open-ended
question. The thing about that, even that video that really made me understand, and especially during your time when those years when you started out actually, is that you guys are very strong, man. I mean, being like, I'm not trying to say anything, but being females and trying to really get out of that norm, right? I think you really are like very badass in your way. So can you tell me a bit of those struggles that you faced when you first started out as dancing and people seeing you on stage, and can you tell me a bit about that experiences that you faced? I know bringing back lots of memories, but just give like a small snippets for the viewers and for the listeners.
I feel like I'm sitting with a therapist.
Yeah.
Actually, sitting with a therapist, unlocking the small boxes and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, can you tell
me? It's
me
actually like it's hard, but at the same time,
yeah.
Like I let them talk shit. Like everybody talks shit about everybody. So like whatever.
It becomes immune to you.
Yeah, it becomes immune, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But just don't get my name out of your mouth.
I think a piss will come in your mouth by that time, right? yeah, I agree. Well, I like this conversation that we had. It's one of those things where it's very unconventional, I would say, but I really like the flow that it is going on, and I've like, it's really nice to have you because you're so genuine in your own way of approaching. And that's one thing. That's why, like I said again, in this podcast is what we try to understand more about you and the real you, right? sometimes you see in
This is quite a different interview, like, you know,
Yeah.
from the past interview that I had. It's quite cringe.
quite,
Yeah, this is like more relaxed, and the vibe and the energy and everyone here. Yeah,
I think
along comfy bit, like, you know,
yeah.
like as in sitting in my house.
Yeah, it's
But
like
I did not sip the tea up but can pajat or something like pajat by now.
now to for sure iced tea
Yeah.
by now, no problem. But anyway, I think the interview, what the f, man, the podcast. My apologies. The podcast I really had a great time with you, and you are one of those people where it's like I said, unconventional, but also you're really frank in what you do and very candid. So this is your opportunity to actually, if you want to shout out to any of your your peeps out there, your friends. Okay, why don't you do this? The last question I want to ask you actually just came in my mind. Actually, it's like a SMS or something. I don't know. So you know Wanda, right? Wanda, if you're watching this, Wanda, you dance. I think in Bunrab.
Oh yeah.
DJ Nak, Wanda. Okay, that video was really awesome. I've checked it out, and even Wanda was the one who
Shan
recommended me.
Halaki Kajat.
Yeah. So, like, was it like those kind of like scenes you really like?
I love those kind of
Okay.
along more like easy chill and underground.
Mhm. And how was like even Nak? I really got a shout out to him because he is one of those guys who have really been supporting my our channel as a whole, and even right in the time when you started out. So he's really big
Yeah,
ups
they're
to
all
me.
hustlers and they're like peace.
Yeah, they're one of those guys I really love, like having them. I definitely Nak will be here. He actually in the previous when we did our live streams, he was there. So during the pandemic, so it was really cool. So yeah, before we end the conversation, I'd say if you want to shout out to anyone out there who are listening, because lots of people are listening and you will be listening. So would you want to give an inspiring message, or you want to shout out? This is your chance to. You can talk to the viewers out there. So yeah,
Where?
anywhere.
Okay.
There.
It's so weird to look at like there.
Yeah, just
Can I just look
yeah,
anywhere?
Just anywhere, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's all about staying true to yourself, being real, and keep doing you. And it's about working hard as well as working smart. Can't just like keep working hard and not being smart. Yeah, and enjoy your life on earth. Duh.
For sure, you have one life
Yeah.
to live. Yeah.
And yeah, just keep doing you, and that's about it, I guess. Yeah.
So yeah,
And live your life with zest.
for sure. That's one of the things that you should always do, actually, right? It was a good conversation. The podcast was vibrant, and I really like you being on the show. Thank you for the time and effort. And I know you have a very busy schedule, but you are here now, so I don't say
Thank you
very
so much. I really enjoyed my time here.
We had a great time.
Yeah.
Talked about Cyberpunk.
We talked about
dance.
everything.
Yeah. And guys, if you have the chance, it'll be up here, down here, her Instagram handle and her YouTube channel as well. So do follow her. So yeah, before we end the podcast, episode 6, all I'd say is that thank you for the support for everyone out there. So before we end, I'd say have a good night. May God bless you, and grab a cup of coffee and just have a good conversation
Or
with
tea.
people. Yeah, or tea.
Shasao.
Or shasao. Yes, those people who are lactose intolerant as well. So yeah, have a great time, and to all the listeners out there as well. Yeah, until next time, until the next episode. Good night, and have a great evening. Yeah. Yo,
Thank you so much.
thanks, man. I mean, really, it was really nice to have you. I really have like. It's really